You know, Andy Young was the kind of person that wasn't supposed to make it at AOE, as we believed in recruiting 4 and 5 pointers, you know, people that were married, had kids, owned a home, had a job, making a decent income. And here was a kid right out of college, was a football player. In addition to being a football player, he was an offensive lineman. And all of us coaches call those people the hogs, you know. And so you had a young hog that wanted to go in business at AOE. And so what Andy possessed is what all the great ones possessed. He had the eye of the tiger. Andy Young wanted to be somebody so bad, it was absolutely unbelievable. And you know, we had that first wave of people that came into A.O. Williams, and all of us were coaches or people that played on a team. And then we had this second wave of people, and Andy was part of this second wave of people. And tons of those people became giants in A.O. Williams. But I think as I look back on the history of A.O. Williams, Andy Young was the best of that second wave of people.
I chose to win. That's why I have to be at every meet. Larry Waddell calls, I'm there. I don't care what else is going on. Bob Turley calls, I'm in. I chose to win. I don't have any decisions to make about that. You got to get to a point where you don't make any more decisions about that.
So really got things moving in North Carolina, and you know, once we got to a point where we were about to go to RVP, moved my family to Maryland, moved in with my mom and dad, you know, hauled a U-Haul with everything we had, and got up there, stayed with my mom and dad for 6 months, had a 15-year-old car. I think the company might have been in 13 states, and we were expanding, and so when it finally opened up a year into the business, we were out there fighting every day to see what we could do, you know.
We start off with this little diagram. We got DC here. We got Northern Virginia. We got Maryland. We're selling a dream now. I'm sleeping on the floor, and I said, this DC area, there's a beltway around it, got the Potomac River coming down. We're going to start right here, and we're going to put offices all around, and we're going to dominate this map. And when we get done with this, we're going to head up the East Coast and go take the entire Northeast. But we're going to do, I was broke. I was sitting there with nothing, drawing that map on the board, telling 4 or 5 our you know, brand new recruits, big eyes, and all they knew is I had a vision. I saw something big that I was a part of. They saw something big that they could be a part of.
So starting out, we were in a new area, you know, Maryland, and there wasn't really a whole lot going on there. We were trying to get some events going, some kind of, you know, environment. And Atlanta, of course, was 12 hours away driving, and Larry Waddell was 6 hours away. So we plugged into his stuff every other month, and then we started going to Atlanta. And we started that in a car, you know, it was 4 of us in a car, and then that turned into a van, and then a second van, and a bus, and as we really got things moving, we got 17 buses on one trip.
But it starts small. It starts with 4 people going to Atlanta. It starts with you taking a stand. And that's the way you're going to do something big in this business, and it's going to start with you in that chair.
Well, early in the business, Art, he made no bones about it. I mean, first meeting I went to, Art said, you know, if we're good enough to make it. He said that at every meeting, you know, but from day one, that's what I heard. And I remember sitting, you know, after I built 80 RVPs, I'm sitting in the insurance commissioner's office in the state of Maryland, 29 years old, and, you know, they're trying to cease and desist and all this stuff. And 2 days later, I mean, nothing happened because nothing was going to happen because everything we did was right. And people ask me today, they say, well, you know, how'd you feel about, you know, being under the gun like that and everything you built? You know, you got 80 RVPs and you've put everything on the line and the state's kind of coming after you. There was not 1 second I thought we were wrong. I knew we were right the whole time. So, you know, it didn't really matter what they threw at us. When you're right, you're right. And we went out there, we prevailed, man. We got the job done, and look at us now.
How many people know you're in A.O. Williams? Every 7-Eleven, gas station, stop and rob, every little store in between my house and the office and back, everybody knows I'm in A.O. Williams. I always have my A.O. Williams jackets on and buttons. I'm always talking a little bit about it. I don't ram it down their throat. I don't take a caveman approach, but they all know that I'm in the business. I'm stupid enough to think that long range, I'm going to recruit everybody. I don't know if it's possible or not, but a lot of people, when they walk in, they think, well, that's A.O. Williams right there. There he is right there.
Yeah, you know, being a college football player, originally I thought I was going to go to the NFL and have that big career, and that never really took off. And I think the biggest contract when I came out of school was $1 million over 2 years. And I came in here and, you know, was able to build that to over $20 million in pay. I mean, that's an amazing business that we started from scratch, you know, pulling a U-Haul just with dreams and hopes, trying to get something going, you know. It's just an amazing business. Great people to be around.
You know, Andy's record was absolutely unbelievable. In 35 years, Andy produced 198 RVPs, 34 SVPs, 21 NSDs, 7 SNSDs. He had 4 people making over $1 million a year, 106 over $100,000 a year. Andy had a payroll of $2.7 million a month. $32 million a year, $320 million payroll over 10 years. In the next 31 years, Andy's business is going to be worth over $1 billion.